Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're going to watch from. Well, today I had another opportunity to visit students of Madina Islamic. However, today we are going to be looking at some of the punishments they think should be given to them without caning them. Rukia Riad is my name, and this is Riad Diaries. Okay, so with me I have students, and we are going to hear about their thoughts on that kind of punishments they think that should be given to them. I'll start with you, Walda. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
With the way you look, okay, with the way you see punishments in schools, I think they cane you here in
Of
Madina.
course.
What kind of punishments do you think should be given to you rather than caning you?
There are many punishments that can come up apart from flogging students. You know, when you flog students, at times they get used to it. You're going to flog a student every now and then. They're going to reach a time when they're used to it, and they can persevere. But then you can come up with punishments, like scrubbing the stairs. You know, most students are doing house chores, like cleaning up the school. So you can tell them, you guys are going to go. You're going to go that side to a different class and move. You know, even your dignity. You know, when they're caning, at times they're going to cane you from a certain classroom. But then if you feel that shame as a person, you're going to be like, wait, how are these people going to see me? I'm going to be cleaning the stairs. They're going to see me mopping the veranda. Maybe you're going to be like, wait, my dignity, I'm not going to go for it. But if you're going to flog you from class, you're going to be like, wait, no one is going to see me. After all, these people are my classmates, and you're already used to getting flogged in class. So it's going to look quite normal. So I think it's better if you give them house punishments around the school.
What kind of punishments do you think teachers or schools should be giving their students instead of caning them?
In my opinion, instead of caning students, like you could just send them home, suspension, 1 week, 2 weeks, because some students prefer that.
When you talk about the suspension of 2 weeks, 1 week, don't you think you're going to be losing out on as far as education is concerned?
The students do lose out, but some of them don't mind as long as it's like I'm not being caned in front of all the students. Like, let me say you're a popular person in school, and then they see you being caned.
So for you, all your concern is about some other people seeing you being caned, a fellow student seeing you being caned.
That's what my students mostly think about, some of them. Then, other than caning them, they could suspend them, but there are some schools that I've seen, like schools I know in Arua, where instead of being caned, they give you garden work. Like you go work in the garden, you uproot weeds in the school garden, or you slash grass in the compound, and that could serve as a punishment also. And kids usually take that instead of just being caned in front of the whole assembly.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Bulaf Hashim Ali, a student at Madina Islamic Senior Secondary School located in Sanji Katereke. I'm in Senior 6. I do mathematics, economics, and Arabic language, stroking with ICT and general paper. Personally, I would be fine with flogging. However, the being fine with flogging would come with some condition. All students would be fine with flogging had it been minimal, or had it been regulated. Like, the only problem with flogging is the fact that it goes to the extreme. So students, if the students are flogged not maximally, or they are flogged not so much, they would be fine with it. But the fact that they are flogged excessively, this would call for them resorting to other drastic measures such as suspensions or even expulsions. So personally, I would start by saying flogging is fine if it is minimal, and there are also other punishments. We could resort to detention, like in other schools. Some schools send their students in case of any sort of misconduct. They are sent to detention. Okay, and that alone is torture. Just that some Africans find it hard to believe that if someone is in some sacred place for some specific time, they are fixing themselves, but it does work. We could resort to detention, or some students could be made to do some activities, some school activities that they've not been getting involved in like previously. Activities like slashing.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, it's not the students who do the slashing. It's not the students who do the garden work. Okay, it's not the students who do the cleaning of some places in the school. But in case some students they misconduct themselves and they are subjected to such punishments like garden work, punishments like, for example, mopping the staff rooms, slashing compounds, the bushy areas, that can also work as a punishment. Unless otherwise,
Some students come from backgrounds like where they're used to farming and sort and garden work. Yes, garden work can work, but then at some point we're going to have some students who have been
just
working.
okay with it.
Yeah, who are kind of okay with it. You know, you're already farmers at home.
So there is nothing you're
There
telling
is
me, I'll
nothing.
just do it.
They're going to be literally fine with it. But there are some things. Let me say, instead of being flogged, you can be told to stand up in a crowd. You know, there is this high school thing where if you're going to be okay, like it's kind of embarrassing. They're going to set up an assembly. So if they set up this assembly, they're going to tell you
You
have to
stand up.
stand. You're going to supposed to stand up. That's why everyone is going to see you. By the way, the one who stole this girl's bag, you're going to feel embarrassed. You're going to be all like, oh my God, I'm not going to do this once more. And you're not going to get even the vigor of doing it. Like, why would I do it again? You're going to become typically a changed person. Yes.
And another thing is, like, they could just call the students' parents to come to school and talk to them, because some students aren't really close with their parents. They're really distant, most especially with their fathers. So if they decide to call like someone's father to school, someone could get so scared. They're like, no, I don't want my dad to come to school. He may cane me in front of the students, like they've called for an assembly, cane me, and that would just worsen everything for the students.
Yeah, some parents are really, really, really harsh. Okay, like, you know, sometimes you may not fear the teacher, and you
But
feel
you
like,
fear your parents.
then you fear your parents, but like, if they call my parent that I was dating in school, what am I going to say? So the mere fact they tell you you're going to call your parent, you're going to have that fear inside. You'll be like, okay, I'm not going to go for it.
that's like, if we look at the objective, the major objective of punishments is like, it's like showing someone the consequences of their actions and subjecting them.
And even you serving as an example
Good.
to the rest
To
of
the
the
rest.
students.
Well, if they are farmers, where they come from, of course, garden work would not work for them, because it will be like
They are not bothered.
they are not
It's
bothered.
business usual.
It's normal work. It's like eating a piece of cake. But there are some punishments that cut across. There are punishments that just
All
cut
kinds
across.
of
The one of the biggest problems in secondary is that our minds are broad. Okay, they are broad, unlike other levels of education. That's why it is in advanced level or in secondary where we have students who have psychological issues. Okay, so there's this thing also, you can punish someone psychologically. You're not touching them, you're not beating them in any way, but you're psychologically torturing them. It's just like at home when your parent, for example, if you come in late from wherever you've been and she notices your backlet, she will look at you and move away.
And you know what you did
treatment.
is
and,
wrong.
and you'll know she has not said anything,
But she has said something.
She has said
Yes.
something. So that kind of
But I look.
that kind of treatment, it's also a punishment, by the
Yeah.
way, because there are many scenarios where parents look at their children and the children fix themselves.
Yeah, because by that time when you used to be in high school, there are those parents who could come and make chaos in schools. Oh, why did you beat my child, son? So teachers used to leave those kids to do whatever they wanted.
And that would be also wrong.
And that was so wrong.
Because they would cut across.
Because if you leave someone to do what they want, that means there are some things they are not even supposed to be in school. School is not for people to do what they want. Just like any other institution, there are rules and regulations that should be followed. And if they are not followed, there are always consequences. Okay, the consequences are the ones we are discussing today.
Yeah.
Consequences such as flogging, which of course we don't like. But if it so happens that
So
flogging
how
happens,
often
it should
do
be.
they cane you here in Madina?
On a scale of 1
Because
to 10,
I'll tell you that those schools, students will tell you they can even take a year without even being wagged by
so
any.
true. That's so true.
Yeah, so how
7 out of
often
10.
do your teachers wag you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give them a 6.
7.
what?
I'd give them a
6.
7.
7.
Like, why are they even caning you?
Various
question.
reasons. Late coming, coupling. Let me say disrespecting a leader, disrespecting a teacher,
Missing swallow?
missing prayers.
But
Yeah, that's a
performance,
value.
like caning,
Yes,
goes below the
poor
pass mark.
performance. They put pass marks.
So they even put pass marks
Yes. If you go below it,
in this 21st century?
yes.
Wow.
Oh, there are schools that don't do that.
course.
Yeah, schools don't do that anymore.
What do they do?
Kids perform well.
They already perform well, so.
But if it so happens that we are not performing,
Your friends are performing well. You're going to feel out of place. Your friends are passing, you're the only one failing. Why don't you, you know?
I don't know.
Because in
Okay,
every
like,
in
each
everything
everything
we
we say-
do, we always have a winner and a loser. We will always have number 1 and number 0 or number 10.
Yes. So let me say they're going to put up the lists on the notice boards, right?
Okay.
Everyone is having an A in that subject. You're the only one having an F. It will push you to read, to be like the rest, so you don't feel out of place. You're going to look like a
That's the
stupid person in
psychological
class.
punishment I've been talking about.
Exactly.
However,
Instead of vamming them, you'd rather put
like
the
I
marks
was
on the
saying,
notice board.
however, it will take some time for us to adapt to something like that, because just like you would perceive it that way, someone may not perceive it that way. Someone may perceive it in line with whoever pinned those things as someone showing off, someone looking towards degrading whoever got the F. Okay?
That person
Not everybody
feeling
who will-
degraded
who
is
is-
what is going to help them to push themselves to get to the to get to their maximum
Or
in
to
order
make
to match
them
it.
drop out of school.
No, drop out of school is okay. Let me say, literally, if you know what you want, you're a person who knows what you want. You've come to study. If you realize you're the only one failing in the class, you're going to be like, you're even going to see the people who are doing great. You're like, you got an A. How did you make it? You're going to listen to them. They're going to help you out in discussions. But if instead of caning someone, I find it not necessary.
Everybody who dropped out of
because
school didn't know what they want.
yes, but that's not a reason to make you drop out of school.
It's not.
It's not.
You've not spoken to anyone who dropped out of school because of their bad grades and they were satisfied
Let me
with
tell
the
you
fact
something.
that they can't do better.
Do you know they can drop out because of their bad grades, not because they were pinned, but because they were flogged?
It works. It cuts across.
It cuts across, but it happens most of the time
If
if you're flogged.
you don't know that. You don't know that.
You know, pinning. You know, there's literally a time when they pin the marks on the notice board. Somebody is going to be like, okay, I'm doing
Bad.
not fine. I'm really doing so bad. I'm really not good at this. You're going to go out for help from the people who did better than you did. You
Not
get
like I said, everybody perceives things
things in a
differently.
different way.
Yeah.
Yes, but okay, let me say ranging 1 to 100. 75 will go for the help.
That is very sharp of a
Yes.
percentage. That is
Which
very
is quite
sharp.
greater than the people who are going to drop out.
That's what I'm saying. It's very sharp.
That's
You
why
can't have that kind of
That's why we're
statistics.
having the counseling and guidance sessions. We're going to have, even here, they normally bring us people who talk to us. They're going to tell you, I was offering this year. I had never gotten, I had never gotten any good points.
You know
the
why
whole
they
of
talk
my,
to us? You know why there are guidance and counseling sessions? Do you know why?
Because they have to stop us from dropping out. They have to make
Good.
us, exactly. So these sessions are the ones that are going to help us
They're not
drop
here
out.
because you're being flogged. No.
Yes, that's why we're saying if they come about, it's going to kind of reduce those. Okay, like actually, those droppers may not even happen at all because you're going to be told. By the
Yeah,
way,
they're here
it
to
is all about
encourage you to
yes, they're
fight
encouraging.
hard
They're going to be
so you
like
can
fruits are
excel.
bitter, the fruits are sweet. You're going to go through all that pain. You're going to be pinned on a notice board. You're going to have to go out. Okay, go and ask for help from someone. You get someone who's quite better than you. You're going to work hard, and if you work hard, you're going to get better fruits. You're going to perform well in the end. You're going to become a better person. You're going to be a benefit to the youth. You get outside there.
So it's interesting how you look at you look at guidance and counseling in that line. However, someone may also look at guidance and counseling as a measure to keep them from dropping out.
Hajara, can you say something? It's like you're just listening to what your fellows are saying. Say something. Why are you quiet on the panel?
Okay, like you said, it's just the psychological torture that you're giving to students. But in high school, there's this mentality that students have, like it's all about fitting into the society.
Yeah.
So you can't be there when they have pinned your results up and everyone has A, maybe the worst has B, and you're the only one having an F.
Yeah.
To cause you to push yourself harder so you can also like improve your grades so you don't have to be feeling left out
We need to also realize not everybody can be smart.
Yes, not
You know,
everyone can be smart,
you
but
know,
if
even
they
getting a
maximize
C,
their efforts, they
you-
can
you know-
become
you know,
like
even-
someone
If you
who's
read
smart.
hard,
We have
you know,
different
even-
ways of getting to knowledge.
Yeah. You know, even
Exactly.
getting a C and everybody getting an A would put you out of place.
Yes, it put you out of place. That's why you have to maximize efforts.
yeah.
If you maximize,
harder,
trust me, if
get
you maximize
coaching
efforts, you can
sessions.
even get something higher than the person who
Have
has
you-
not been maximizing
Have
and they're
you-
just bright.
Have you met people who have died in books but with no performing
No, I've not met anyone die in books. Have you met any?
increment? A lot of them. I've met a lot of people who are diehards in books, yet when it comes to performance, they are still in depression.
Let me tell you,
But
you
they
know,
have that
those people have not
patch where
yet
they are-
realized like the things they're supposed to do. You know, someone may be reading hard but not reading smart. There's reading hard and reading smart. You have to read the effort you're going to put in. You're going to read smart. You're going to be like, you have to understand your time. You'll be like, if I read at 6, I'm going to understand. If I read at after the prep, I may be quite sleepy. I may not understand what I'm reading. Yet you have to maximize your efforts. You have to understand yourself first before you maximize your efforts. You
Yeah,
may
and-
maximize your efforts and it's kind of useless to you.
With that hard reading, you can also, like, if the reading hard fails, you can ask your parents to get you the coaches who will teach you from home. So you'll be studying ahead as the others are like in holidays. So when you come back, you just catch up and you read hard with the rest. You excel.
You people are really embedding on the fact that there are no people who are not smart.
I
There are
believe
people who are
everyone
naturally
is
not smart.
No, leave it naturally. I believe everyone is smart as long as they put in the efforts that are needed. They can make it even better than the people who are smart. As long as you maximize the efforts and know what you want
Okay,
as a
quick
person.
question. Do you read smart or you read hard?
Read
Read
smart.
smart.
You read smart.
Exactly.
Are you the best student in your combination?
No,
Yes, exactly.
Where would you grade yourself?
there is something they are doing that I'm not doing.
Yes.
That's something I have to find out and do.
You have
Yeah.
to find out.
Exactly. You have to understand yourself to go
This
for
is
it.
the thing. This is the thing. The problem with secondary students is I would say procrastination. See, there is something you have to find out. Something you have to find out. You know, under normal circumstances, had we not been procrastinative, we would be like, they are doing this, and I've embarked to that as well. But because we are procrastinative, we are like, there's something they are doing that I have to find out. So you're postponing the finding out. You see? You're not going to tell a teacher, I'm finding out what they are doing. Or there's something they are doing that I'm working on finding out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. You can go straight ahead and be like,
Okay,
what are you
time
doing
is
to perform
again
this
starts.
well?
You should be wrapping up by now.
You can ask them, what are you doing? Or even, you don't even ask sometimes. You'll be like, you just observe them like, she's consulting right now.
Yeah, she's consulting.
She's so consulting. She's
Maybe
discussing with her friends.
she borrows books from the
Library.
classes, the library,
And so
uses those
yeah.
to read.
You don't need to have in so much efforts to know what they are doing. You don't even have to ask them at something. You just have to observe. It's about you.
It
if
was
you want
your
something,
statement. You said
yeah, if
there
you
is
want
something
something,
they are doing
you're going
or
to
not.
go for it. Yes.
Okay,
it's something that you have to find
guys,
out.
please make your submissions in a summary because time is against us.
I'll start by flogging would be fine if it were minimal.
Yeah.
And there are other punishments
Yes.
that teachers could resort to other than flogging students,
Yeah.
such as detention, like we said, and sanitary work around the school premises, among others.
I personally don't support the flogging issue. And there are various punishments that can be given to students because the main purpose, you said, of serving punishments is just for someone to understand that what I've done is wrong and I should change, like to understand the consequences of their actions. So you can give other punishments instead of flogging students.
I personally wouldn't support flogging at all because he said it's minimal. If it's minimal, I'm literally going to get you. I'm like, I could give me 2 or 3 and I'm going to bear with it. But then if I'm going to have other punishments, or even psychologically, pinning my marks on the notice board, calling out my parents. Yes. No, you don't get used to your parents being in school every time. Like, I mean, your parents can't be hanging in school every time. Like, every time, your parents, where are they? Your parents, it feels insecure. Okay, it's not something you'd be proud of in school. But then if you're, even, there's this time you get family like, metro, you get.
Yeah,
so,
proud of.
I think it is better if flogging event weren't around. It shouldn't be abolished. It's not necessary.
Okay, well, thank you so much. That is what we heard from students of Madina Islamic Senior Secondary School. And we were talking about some of the punishments that can be given to students minus caning them. This is Rukia Riad. Stay tuned to Riad Diaries. Like, share, comment, and follow. We will see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.